And joining us now to discuss President Trump on Saturday is saying he thinks President Vladimir Putin may be stringing him along in the Russia-Ukraine war is Kervin O'Quinn, former lead ISR coordinator for the U.S. Army and host of This Week Explained podcast. Good morning, Kervin. What's your analysis here? Is Putin, do you think, stringing Trump along?
Well, good morning to you. Thank you once again for having me on here. Yes, absolutely. This is something that analysts before Trump took office were concerned about. That, as then candidate, now President Donald Trump continued to say that by the first day, 24 hours of his administration, he's going to get Putin in a room and have him sign a peace deal. We've seen we're closing in on 100 days now, no peace deal. No ceasefire is agreed to by Vladimir Putin. And so that was sort of the concern that Vladimir Putin, just like he did with Emmanuel Macron back in 2022 before the invasion of Ukraine in February of that year, and Macron came away and said that he trusted Vladimir Putin and he didn't think that Vladimir Putin was going to invade Ukraine at that point. This is something that Putin does, and he is stringing Donald Trump along because I don't think, from my analysis, that Vladimir Putin wants an end to this war. He just wants to promote to his people that, hey, at least he's trying to end this war. But look, they're in a wartime economy, and they can absolutely not off-road this conflict.
So Putin is actually engaging in negotiations. Do you think that's just for show? What is Putin's strategy?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's twofold here. One, just like you said, it's just for show, but also he's got to be a little pragmatic about this and sit at the table and see what the offers are for Russia. If he can get Ukraine to concede everything that Russia wants them to concede, if he can remove any protections, any guardrails for Ukraine, I think that's something he could agree to. And then within 6 months to a year after that ceasefire or peace deal, he would then make another move without security measures in place for Ukraine towards Kyiv again, and another complete takeover or an attempt at a complete takeover of the country of Ukraine.
Do you see Putin wanting to try to drag out the conflict?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we came from a few months of rough, harsh winter weather, so not a lot of movement on the front lines there. We are in prime, offensive, counteroffensive operation time frame right now. The weather is clearing up, where there's a lot more maneuvering that can happen along the front lines. So absolutely, I could see Vladimir Putin even. So I think I just got an alert earlier today that Vladimir Putin has declared by May 5th that there will be a temporary ceasefire for just a little while. So that's something to get the ball moving there, stop all of the firing and the movement along the front lines so that you can reconstitute Russian forces and then make another offensive as that what could be this very brief ceasefire leads Russia into making another offensive.
So why does Russia want to do this? Definitely it's going to have an impact on its economy, right? And amid pressure as well from Western countries and sanctions as well amid all that, why does Russia, Putin, want to drag out the war?
I think for Putin, it's a pride thing. He has stated from the very beginning that he wants to return the Russian Federation back to its glory of the USSR. So that's one part of it, a lot of pride that's there from a human being. But then also there is an economic benefit to this in the future. If Russia then controls Ukraine, they can control those rare earth minerals that Donald Trump is trying to sign a deal with Ukraine in order to get 50% of the economic benefits of that. If Russia, before that sign, can take control of Ukraine, they now have the benefits of those rare earth minerals. And then they have control of the ports that are there with a lot of trade that goes in and out of that area.
So how do you think Trump should deal with this situation if he, in fact, think that Russia or Putin is stringing him along?
Well, he's got a couple of options on the table. I don't think walking away is a good option, but he's got to be more firm. He's got to be just as firm or even more so than he is with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, then if he is seeing that, and it's kind of disrespectful what Vladimir Putin is doing right now to not only Donald Trump as the man, but as the United States and his administration. And so he needs to identify that and put more pressure on Russia by offering Ukraine more security measures, by offering Ukraine more munitions in their war against this aggressor. I think the more pressure that the United States can put on Russia, the less likely we are to see Vladimir Putin succeed in this.
So Trump floated the idea of secondary sanctions to deal with Putin. Do you think that will be effective, adding additional economic pressure?
No, I'm the kind of guy that says sanctions don't do much. There's a lot of loopholes through the sanctions. You can go through backdoor avenues. Another aspect of this is China. China is basically funding the economy of Russia in a lot of ways, and they are absolutely, Xi Jinping and the CCP is enjoying what is happening in Europe right now because it is getting Europe and the United States to focus on those battle lines while they're trying to draw their own battle lines in a future invasion of Taiwan.
Okay, I just want to get a sense here. Maybe this is the last question. In your mind, exactly what are the chances of peace actually happening?
Right now, it's so I work on a scale of unlikely, possible, and probable. Anything that's probable is above 50%. And I'm highly confident that it's going to happen. I'm at a possible right now. We're below a 50-50 chance at peace. Like I said, I don't think that Putin wants peace there, especially not in the areas of Ukraine that the Russian Federation holds right now. So we are teetering right now between it's possible to maybe unlikely at this point that we will see a ceasefire or a lasting peace deal done, especially within the next 6 months.
All right, Kervin Aucoin, host of This Week Explained. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me, and stay safe out there.